Okay, I don't want to do that. Okay, there we go. Okay, so this week we're going to go over chapter 3 and chapter 4. This was a lot of information, a lot of information. So I'm going to kind of skim through some of it and really pour into other parts of it. But some of it, I think you're just going to have to read on your own and figure out what works best for you. Because really, in chapter 4 especially, she gives a lot of suggestions about how to run your business, how to do certain things. And of course, we all, because we are the CEO of our own company, we can do whatever we want. We can focus on ambassadors if we want. We can focus on customers if we want. We can choose to do parties, or we can choose not to do parties. We can choose to do vendor events, or we can choose not to do vendor events. So it's really going to be how you want to work your business. Me personally, I don't like to do a lot of home parties. That's just me. I love doing sip and sees though, where people go to a common place like a wine bar or something. We meet and we just share. So I love doing that stuff, but I don't personally like going to people's houses. That's just me. Other people have completely built their business off of that. So you have to choose what you're comfortable with and what works for you. Okay, so I'm going to start on page 27 and just kind of run through some of this. I completely agree with what she says in the second paragraph. Not everyone who joins this is fully prepared to be a business owner. The one thing about Plexus is that we don't pre-qualify people. That's amazing because that means that anyone can do this, but also that means that I personally was not ready to be a business owner. And a lot of people that we have join us aren't ready to be business owners or don't have that mindset yet. That doesn't mean that they can't do this, but they have to grow and develop themselves in order to have that business mindset. So I love that she said that, because people always say, well, I've never had to do this before. I've never had to manage people. I never had to, look at reports before. That's fine. I've never had to do that either. I was a 4th grade teacher. So it's okay if you're uncomfortable with this. It's okay if you feel like you're out of your comfort zone. It's 100% okay. We all start somewhere and you only grow and get better from there. So people still struggle with limiting belief and a lack of self-motivation. And I find this to be true over and over and over and over and over again. Someone once told me you can inspire someone, but you can't motivate them. Motivation comes from within. And this is so true. Hold on, sorry. Oh, I just got a text. Okay, I was just making sure it wasn't from someone that needed to get on here. So that is so, so true. You can inspire someone all day long. People always tell me, you and Jill are such an inspiration. I love the way that y'all can just work together so well. And y'all are such an inspiration to be able to quit your teaching job. And that's very flattering, it is. But just because we inspire them doesn't mean that's going to get them out of their bed every day and get them pulling out their computer and contacting people and reaching out to people. You can inspire people all day long. I'm inspired by people daily. I'm inspired by the people that, are in the Olympics, swimming or running, but that doesn't mean that I want to do that. That doesn't mean that because I'm inspired by them that I'm going to get up and go run track every day, because that's not me. So you can inspire someone all day long, or you can be inspired, but the only way you can motivate yourself is from within, finding something that gets you going every day, gets you up and saying, you know what, this is uncomfortable for me, but I'm going to do it. You know what, I don't really want to reach out to these people today, and maybe I'm not confident or maybe I'm nervous, but I'm going to do it because it's what's going to drive me to where I want to be. It's going to help me to reach my goals. So you have to find something from within that's going to really motivate you to do that. And that's kind of coming up. So I kind of jumped the gun on that one because we talked about our wine a little bit. But we often hear the saying, and this is one of those sayings, when you continue in this, you'll hear it 1,000 times. You will hear this over and over and over again, but it's because it's true. Treat this like a business and it will pay like a business. Treat it like a hobby and it will pay like a hobby. And this is where I'm the realist, and I say, hey guys, here's the deal. When I was teaching, if I was sick one day and I didn't want to take a sick day, I had to go into work even if I didn't feel like doing it. When I was told to do reports, I had to go in and do them. There was no option. If I wouldn't have showed up to work, I would have gotten fired. You would never dream of not showing up to your 9-to-5 job. You would never dream of it. There's not one day in my 5 years of teaching that I didn't call in and just didn't show up. There's not one day. If I didn't show up for work, it was either because I had asked off previously or I was on my deathbed and I was literally barfing all over the place, and I called my principal to tell her I can't come in. I would have never just not showed up. But that's the thing about this business. A lot of people don't treat it like that. They think, oh, you know what? I'm going to go swimming today. You know what? I'm going to go to the mall instead. I'm going to go do this. I'll do that later. You would never dream of doing that with your career. So why would you ever do it with Plexus and expect it to bring you in income? Do you really think that the CEO of any company just doesn't show up and says, well, it's going to be successful and I'm not going to show up. I'm just going to trust in Jesus. It's going to happen. No, you have to put in the work every day. And that's where this mindset shift needs to happen, of where, we go back to the chapter title of Think Like a CEO. If you're thinking like a CEO, you aren't going to sit and watch The View all morning instead of working your business. No, they go to work and they work all day long and they work hard. And that's how businesses are successful. You really have to have that mindset shift of, yes, network marketing is time freedom, but you still have to show up. If you treat it like a hobby, when do you do hobbies? Once a week? Maybe once a week, but that's why they're called hobbies. They don't bring in money. So if you're on this call, you're wanting to make money. You have to go to work every single day. Let's see, on page 28, where it talks about developing your blueprint for entrepreneurial success. I knew if I was to find success in my business, I had to implement system and establish hours of operation. And I am the first one that will tell you, I am not someone that works Plexus the same time every day. I just don't. My life is too crazy. Like today, I'm having to go to Houston and we're doing a lot of steps. So it's really like a day-by-day, play-by-play for me. But I work my business every day. But that's why we're so keen on these power hours now, because you can work an hour a day and make this business happen. You 100% can. Now, when you get to Senior Ruby, Emeralds, above, you really do need to be working more. But you're making six-figure income at that point. You can't expect to work, 20 hours a month and, 1 hour a day, 5 hours a week, 20 hours a month and make six figures. It's just not reasonable to think that. But when you're first starting this, when you're silver, gold, senior gold, 100%, you can make this work in an hour. It's just being efficient with your time and setting up hours of operation. I've already posted about the happy hour or the power hour 9 million times. Y'all know I'm a fan of it, but y'all, let's talk about being coachable. Like we said last week in this book study, you have to be coachable to make it in this business. If people that are successful are telling you do the power hour and you're still not doing it, you kind of have to reflect and say, why? Why am I not doing this? What is holding me back? Is there a roadblock in the way that's holding me back from doing these things that are going to bring income into my business? We've told you a million times and we preach on this happy hour, and that's why. And this is establishing those hours of operation. So that doesn't mean, okay, every day from 10 to 11 I have to do this, but every day you need to find an hour and you need to do those income producing activities. And then on page 29, it talks about what is an income producing activity, not busy work. And this is what a lot of people get caught up in. And this is not me placing judgment on anyone. I was the same way. I would get caught up in, checking my Facebook. I would move around my office. I would organize and reorganize my Frank's list. I would talk to my team. I would go to all the team pages to make sure I knew everything that was going on the team pages. I would go to my back office and kind of look back there for a while. Before I knew it, it was 2 hours. I have not reached out to one new person, and I have not followed up with one person. That's what's the stuff that's going to bring me income. Reaching out and following up, talking to people. It's a very, very simple business. It's not easy, but it is very simple. All you have to do is reach out to people and follow up. So think, okay, I want y'all to think when you get off of this call. Okay, when I sit down and work Plexus, what's the first thing I do? Do I go to the team page and scroll it? Do I go to my notifications and check all my notifications? Do I post on Facebook? What am I doing that's taking my time? Yes, posting on Facebook is necessary. Absolutely. It lets people know your doors are open, but that's not something that's going to really bring you a ton of revenue. That's kind of just putting it out there and saying, all right, I'm in the middle of the ocean. I'm casting my net. I hope a fish comes in here. That's what you're doing when you're just posting on Facebook. You have to reach out to people and let them know what you're doing personally, and that's what's going to bring business in. So those are the things that's going to bring your income. Things like Facebook, back office, rearranging your list, that's not going to bring you income. So really reevaluate and say, what am I doing? What do I need to make a plan to do? And I wish I could show you all this. Maybe I can do this. No, it doesn't. Not going to lean down far enough, the camera. But on my computer, I have a sticky note, and I'll take a picture. How about that? I'll take a picture and I'll post it in the book group so you can see. But on my sticky note, it says, reach outs, follow-ups, ambassador support, silver list. And what my silver list is just the people on my team that want to go silver this month. So I know like Kristen's on it right now, and I know that her goal is to go silver. So I have her on that silver list to check in. Customer support, so new customers, ambassador support, new ambassadors, go in my back office. I look up convenience orders. I check on newbies. I look at Facebook groups. And that Facebook groups is the last thing that I do. So I have this sticky note right here on my computer that I do every single day. So not a day goes by that I don't go through this little sticky note on my computer and say, check, done, 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 done. Now, I will say my sticky note is not in the order that I do it. I'm going to do that next month, but I didn't want to waste my time redoing my sticky note. That'd be a time waster. But what your sticky note should look like if you choose to do whatever kind of list that you want to in order to work your power hour, should be reach outs first, follow up second, all the stuff that's going to bring you income. That should be what you're doing first. Okay, yeah, I'll do it. I'll do the sticky note, Karen, in the team page. But remember, y'all, you always want to do the stuff that's going to bring you income first. So that's what it means when it says setting aside time and putting systems in place. You have to be organized. And if you're on my Ninja's Power Hour call, we also talked about, blocking out time during your week to work your Plexus business. Because, y'all, if it says somewhere here, let me find it because I highlighted it. I like the way that this was. I like the way she said it. She said something like, if you don't take control of your time, it will take control of you. And that's so true. If you don't say if you don't assign your time, you'll wake up and it'll be, Christmas and you don't know where the time went and nothing gets done in your business. Another thing I love that she said, I'm kind of skipping around on page 28, is it's easy to blame our upline or downline for lack of support, but this is an independent business ownership. The only name on the account is yours and your name is on that paycheck stub. So it's very easy to say, well, I don't have enough support. My upline's not checking up on me. My downline, they just aren't working. I wish that they would get it together. They're just so lazy. But then look and say, am I working? Am I really working, or am I micromanaging people? Think about as an employee, I don't know if everyone's been an employee on here or not, but I know I've been an employee since I was like 14. When you're an employee, what do you hate most about a boss? Micromanagers. I hate when my boss micromanage me. Anytime a boss would micromanage me, just dip their fingers on my stuff, I would just have visions of me slamming their head against the wall because they would annoy me so bad. I could not handle it. I'm like, get out. I know how to do my job. Why don't you go work on your job and I'll do mine? How about that? So if you're just going and managing your team and saying, well, they aren't working, they should be reaching out, they should be posting, and they're not. So what? Show them how it's done. Show them how to reach out to people. Show them that you're, signing ambassadors left and right by adding new people on the team page. Show them that, because whatever you do, they're going to follow. You can never blame your upline for lack of support. You can never blame your downline for lack of working. You're the only person that controls your business. Okay. On to page 30, 31, 32, 33. They're kind of all about the same thing. So 30 says, this is the most common thing that I get from people, I don't have time to work the business. Okay, well, tell me what your day looks like. Well, I get up, I kind of fart around for a while, I get my kids ready, I take them to school, and then I come home. I watch The View, and then I kind of run a few errands, and then I make dinner, and then, my husband and I hang out at night. So there's a lot of time there that I see that is not accounted for. So you have to find stuff in your schedule that is taking your time and cut it out and work your business instead. So TV is one thing that honestly, I didn't watch much, but I did watch some TV before Plexus. I haven't watched TV in probably, minus it being on for background noise, I haven't intentionally sat down and said, I'm going to watch TV in probably 2.5 years, because I just don't do that anymore. It was a time waster for me, and I cut it out of my schedule. And people I know, everyone has their shows. I know that Kennan's aunt always says, oh, my show comes back on. I'm like, I don't even know, what does that even mean, your show comes back on? I don't, change my life and schedule my life around a show. But some people do. So you have to think, if shows are important to you, fine, pick an hour show that you like. But where can you take time in other places? If you are that gung-ho on that show, then you're going to have to figure out other times to pull away Plexus time. If you're someone that, has a glass of wine on the back porch every night, okay, that's great. How about you work Plexus during that time on the back porch? There's ways that you can fit into it. I'm not telling you your life has to be miserable, but if you say time is an issue, you have to find time if you want to make this work. Get up before the kids. Get up after the kids. I've had people on my team that say, but I just don't want to get up early. Who does? Who does want to get up early? But do you want this business bad enough that you'll be uncomfortable for a little bit? Just uncomfortable for a little bit and make that sacrifice to have long-term reward. I'll give you an example. My personal example is when I was teaching, I was so dang tired all the time. And y'all, when I said the struggle was real with working Plexus, I could have easily come up with excuses and said, well, I have to be up early to get to school. I don't have time in the morning to work my business, or gosh, I have tutoring and then I have all these lesson plans, and I was a lead teacher on my team. So I had extra meetings I had to go to. Y'all, when I say I worked from like 5 a.m. to 8 p.m. teaching, that wasn't a joke. And then I would come home, I'd grade papers, insert grades. Teachers know this life. This is a life. That was no joke. But guess what? I got up at 4 a.m. and people say, yeah, that's excessive. But you know what? It was a sacrifice that I made. Was I tired? Yeah. And me and Jill used to always joke, there's not enough Plexus in the world to help me with my energy when I'm waking up at 4 a.m. and going to bed at midnight. There just isn't enough Plexus. Did it help? Yes. But Lordy, I was tired. But I even told my husband, I looked at him and I said, give me a year of this being miserable, and I promise you our life will be different in a year. I committed to a year, and every night I was working, every morning I was working. I worked on my lunch break. I worked on my conference when I didn't have stuff going on. I worked on the toilet. I worked all the time. I fit Plexus in whenever I could. And y'all, whenever I had those times of doubt, when I had those times of, is this really for me? Can I really do this? I would just say, okay, only 6 more months of this. 6 more months of this is it. And then, you know, I only had 4 more months of school. Okay, 4 more months. I only have to do this for 4 more months. And I pushed myself, and I pushed and I pushed and I pushed myself. And then I was able to quit teaching that year because I did consistently work my business every day. I did on Saturdays. My husband would go to the ranch and go have a heck of a time with my family, and I would stay at home and I would work Plexus instead. I know now y'all don't see a lot of activity from me on the weekend, but y'all, I used to not do anything on Saturdays and Sundays because those were my 2 days that I could work my business. Did it suck? Yeah. Would I have rather gone to Oktoberfest and this Wine Fest and gone to my brother's ranch? Absolutely. But that wasn't going to grow my business and staying at home and working with. So you just have to sacrifice. You have to find a reason to do this that's going to make those sacrifices okay for you. And then 31 talks a lot about personal development. You have to pour into yourself. You always hear, especially as women, I feel like we give. And then we never take time to say, okay, like, what about me? What about me though? I'm over here giving so much and I feel so empty inside. And that's why so many women are depressed, is because they don't pour into themselves. So you really have to pour into yourself, because you can't pour from an empty cup. And we can pour into ourselves from doing personal development. Again, if time is an issue, when you're getting ready for work, when you're doing the dishes, when you're folding laundry, have some videos that you like to listen to, have some books on Audible that you like to listen to that are going to pour your cup. I know books like The Circle Maker, stuff like that are on Audible that I could just pop in and listen to on my phone were really great things for me to pour my cup, because those days that I did have doubts in my mind, y'all, they will come. Those days that you have doubts in your mind, the days that you're not sure if this is what you want to do, the days that are really hard, those are going to things that are going to fill your cup up, pour back into yourself, where you are energized and say, you know what, I can do this. I can do this, and I'm going to do this. So definitely take time for you. And then 32 and 33 talk a lot about speaking existence in your business. And this is going to sound really horrible. This is going to sound really, really bad. But when people just tell me, I just can't do this, I'm also like, okay, well, you've already defeated yourself. So why would I pour into you when you don't even believe in yourself? If I'm believing in you more than you believing in you, you need to do personal development. So 32 talks a lot about, you know, in the beginning, Sarah Robbins will say stuff like, nobody's joining my team. Everyone's quitting. No one likes Plexus. These products don't even work. Okay, well, why would anyone want to join you, first of all, when you're negative Nancy like that? I personally like to be around fun, positive people, not people that I'm like, well, that girl's life sucks. Why would people want to join you if they think your life sucks? And if you're speaking stuff like that into your business, that's what's going to happen. You know, I have people, and I'll say, you know, when people message me stuff like that, everyone's quitting, no one's ordering their products this month, I literally say, stop. I don't talk to people that have negativity. You need to go. You need to do some personal development, change your mindset, and come back and talk to me, because I don't want to hear no one wants the products. Of course, everyone's not going to like the products. Not everyone likes anything. There's not 100% of everyone that likes one thing. I love wine. My brother doesn't drink wine. I am confused by that, but he doesn't like wine and I do. So why would I be negative because he doesn't like something? It's just like that with Plexus, y'all. Not everyone's going to like the products, and that's okay. Maybe it's because they don't like the way it tastes. Maybe it's because they just didn't give it long enough to work, but we can't take that personally. So when people come to me with negativity, I straight tell them, stop. I don't want the negativity. Yes, some people aren't going to reorder, but let's reassess. Are you giving them good customer service? Are you helping them? Are you troubleshooting with them? So maybe instead of being negative, change your mindset to say, everyone wants Plexus. Everyone wants to hear what these products have done for me. People need these products, and I'm giving people hope. Isn't that a lot more fun to be around someone like that? And y'all may make fun of this all day long, but anyone that is successful that I talk to, you know what they do? They give themselves positive affirmations in the mirror. Like I could say right now, I look great even though I don't have makeup on. And before I'd be like, oh my gosh, I need to get my lashes done. My forehead is so burnt. Like I could pick out a million things wrong with me. But you know what? Instead, I'm like, you know what? I'm rocking this no makeup look, and I'm glad that I'm so blessed to be able to do this. Mindset is everything. Change it. I promise you it'll change your life. All right. So she was just saying stuff like, I have the fastest growing team in the company. I will be the top earner. And I said stuff like that. My team is the most momentum in all the teams in Plexus. I will be a top earner. And guess what? I was on the stage getting a $2,000 check 2 months ago because I declared that. I spoke life into it. And then when you're speaking existence into something, it's going to happen. What you say on 34, your thoughts become your words and your actions determine your outcome. Okay, then making your dream a reality. This is on page 35. This is where I kind of jumped the gun earlier and I was talking about the why. And like I said earlier, you can inspire someone, you cannot motivate someone. There's nothing that you do that's going to be able to make someone get out their computer and type on their computer. There's nothing that you can do that's going to make someone do that. They have to choose on their own. My upline Jill, she's amazing. But do you think that she messages me and says, hey girl, you need to get up and message people? No, she's never told me that because I can do that on my own. I know that I want this business and that this business is going to work. She's never once had to tell me to work. Never once. She's never once had to say, hey, I noticed that you haven't added some people. No, because I add people to the team because it's a goal of mine to do that every single month, and I don't take no for an answer. She inspires me 100%, but she does not motivate me. My why motivates me. So your why is on page 35, 36, 37. It really talks about your why and what it is and how you should attack that. So in the beginning, my why was I wanted to quit teaching. But rather than saying something like, I want to quit teaching, they want you to be very specific in your why. So your why would be, I want to quit teaching because I want to be someone that is no longer angry at my husband for no reason. I no longer want to cringe when someone touches me because I get pawed at all day. As a teacher, that's just what happens. Kids paw at you all day. So when I was getting home, my husband would, try and hug me or something, and I would just tense up because I was so tired of people being on me all day. I want to be able to travel and live a life that I've always dreamed of rather than being a slave to the 9-to-5 job. That was my why. You have to make it something that is emotional to you that's going to make you work hard. Money can never be your why because guess what? You may say, well, money's my why. I want to get us out of debt. That's great, but guess what? Haven't you always made it work? I know it would have been nice to have more money when I was younger. It would have been nice to have that, but we always made it work. I could always cut back on other things and make my budget work. So money cannot be your why. It may motivate you for a little bit, but it's not going to make you get out of bed and work every single day. So it needs to be specific. It needs to be powerful. And here it says your why needs to make you cry. And I always thought that was kind of dumb because I don't really cry. And I'm like, oh, I'm not crying. It must not be strong enough. But what that means, it just has to pull on your heartstrings. You have to be emotional about it. So something for you is you've been a stay-at-home mom. Your why may be, my why is that I want to be able to provide or contribute something to my family because I don't like having to ask my husband for money. I want to be able to do stuff on my own without having to ask for permission. Something like that. That may be someone's why. It just depends. So there's a lot of different things that you can use as your why, but it needs to be something that when you say, I don't want to, I don't really feel like contacting people today. I'm kind of over this right now. You have to think, okay, my why. Do I want to quit my job next year? Yes. Then I'm going to have to get up and work or it's not going to happen. So kind of read through that why. She's a lot more emotional about it than I am, so she can explain it better. As y'all can tell, I'm pretty cold-hearted. I'm not really cold-hearted. I'm just not like real emotional, so it's hard for me to explain things like that because I don't tie emotion to a lot of things. But I love on 37, I underline too, when it says everyone has ups and downs, challenges and achievements, disappointments and success. When you are clear about your reason why, you will continue to be driven by your dream rather than fueled by your disappointments. And I will have y'all go. You can write this down. It's called Melissa Eichenhorst. She's a Diamond Ambassador, has a great video that says get off the the network. What is it, Marcella? Do you know? Get off the emotional roller coaster. It's called something like that. Get off just type in a Melissa Eichenhorst roller coaster and it'll pop up. And basically, it's talking about highs and lows and how, you get an ambassador and you're like, woo, on top of the world. And then someone tells you that the products aren't working. And you're like, oh my God, my life is over. I quit now. And then you sign an ambassador and you're like, oh, I love Plexus. I love it. I'm so committed for the rest of my life. And then, someone does an order and you're like, just delete all the Facebook pages. I hate this. But people are like that. And I have so many people on my team that are like that too. Okay, thanks. Marcel's going to find a link. She'll post it in the group page. But I have so many people that are like that. And you think it's ridiculous, but it's true. I've had people who, one person messages them and says, the products are amazing. I love them. And they're all about Plexus. And they'll recruit 10 people. And then all of a sudden one person says no. And they die. Like they emotionally die. It's ridiculous. Just know. People are going to love it. And then people are going to not love it. But as long as you're prepared for that, that's okay. You have to be detached from the emotional roller coaster. Okay, Marcella just put the link in there. It's really, really good. Okay, and then it talks about on 38 and 39, you have this big why. Quitting your job may seem overwhelming to match your salary. I know I was making, when I first started Plexus, my first check was $400. So when I thought about matching my teacher's salary of $42,000, it was a little bit overwhelming. So I had to cut it into chunks and say, okay, if I work this plan backwards, if I add about 6 people a month and help those people and make it my goal to help them go silver and continue to add my 6 a month, I'll be able to quit my job in a year. So I had someone help me break it down. You can talk to your uplines about that. And that's how it works. That's how you kind of work backwards and make your plan that way. So set your goals, create visual reminders of it. When you're seeing your goal every single day, it really helps. That's why, in my background, I know a lot of people have this. Like my goal is to it says get it done. Like I told you, I'm like I don't need a lot of emotions tied to my stuff. This is all I need. And I had a senior ruby here for my husband and an emerald for there. My husband's not senior ruby yet, so I'm keeping that up there. And then I just have this emerald just because I like it. But it says get it done. So I know, like, I see that every day on my phone. I'm going to get done. Like I will get him senior ruby. I will. And I have a plan to get him there. So that's why I have that. Okay. And then chapter 4, this is where I'm kind of breeze through this one. Because this is where I said you can choose how to work your business. So I don't really want to go and turn your favor to one way or another on this, because she gives you a lot of great ideas though. But she does give you ways to get customers and says how important customers are. And this is one thing that I am a little sad about, is people will contact me and say, that person signed up as a customer, not an ambassador. And that is the saddest thing in the world, because y'all, customers are the reason I paid my mortgage my second month. Customers in this business make you a ton of fast cash. Customers keep new ambassadors around because they see commission and they find belief in this compensation plan, and then they realize the importance of ambassadors and why you need them. So customers are straight up the bomb. So when you get preferred customers, rather than saying, oh man, I wish they would have done ambassadors, be thankful for them, be grateful for them, because they're gonna pay you out big time. She says, customers are a way to fast cash, and that's true. If you have high PV, you will get a big paycheck, especially because Plexus has those bonuses on preferred customers. So she just says, ways to get customers, and this is something that you can read through. It's very self-explanatory, but sampling, being a product of the product is the biggest thing. If people are seeing you have more energy, people are seeing you, talking about sleeping like a baby, people are saying that you aren't popping Advil every day, you being a product of the product, that's going to naturally draw people in. Sampling is a great one. I personally don't spend a lot of money on sampling, because I think when people spend money on something and put an investment in it, they're more likely to try it out. I used to give out 7-day trials. I used to give out 3-day samples, things like that. I was going through product that I couldn't afford like crazy in the beginning. And people, I'd reach out to them and say, oh yeah, I lost it. I haven't tried it yet. But you know why? It didn't cost them a penny. It costed me money, but it didn't cost them a penny. So I would be very careful with sampling. I usually only send out 1 stick of Slim, and it's 2 people that I am close with or I know will try it. I don't just send out samples all the time, because you'll waste money like that and they'll get lost. Probably 50% of mine didn't even take the samples I sent out to them. So I tell them, if you want to try a sample, girl, we have a 7-day trial, feel free to buy it. And if they put that commitment in, then that they can spend their own money. Because remember, the joy of this is we don't have a big investment. We don't have to buy thousands of dollars worth of product. We don't have to buy, we don't have to have a room full of inventory. We only have to purchase what we personally take. So anything that we send as samples is out of our personal stock. So just be careful on that. It's a way to lose money fast if you send out a lot of samples. And then she talks about how to get great customers. You're going to host events in people's houses, customer appreciation events. So that's a great one. I like that one. Gifts, gift your products. So a great thing would be your kids are all getting new teachers right now. You probably have new teachers at school. You have a lot of ways to gift your products. I know that a lot of people do teacher gifts. A lot of people do gifts at, what's it like? Daycare. There we go. Clearly I'm not a mom. I'm like, hold on, I blanked out. Daycare. They give gifts at church. They give gifts birthdays. They give gifts for bachelorette parties. All these ways that you could just throw a couple sticks of Slim in there and make it real cute. Give it to someone as a gift. Christmas is one that, later is coming up. You could do Christmas in July right now. That would be so cute. I'm giving away, 3 Christmas presents for Christmas in July, and do Slim. There's ways that you can do that. Social media and sharing stories. I love this one. And it goes into storytelling. Facts tell, stories sell. In the beginning, I would go to Pinterest, find some Plexus thing, post it up on my thing, and hope that people would come to me. They were awful. It was like, join my team now. It was something non-personable. It was something, if I would have seen someone else post it, I would have scrolled right through it. But then I started sharing stories, and that's when my business boomed. I've shared my story, kind of like it was a diary on Facebook. Instead of, living my life and then selling Plexus, I made Plexus a part of my life. So now people don't, look at me as the person that sells Plexus. They look at me as someone who Plexus is part of my life. They're like, I post about my husband, I post about my dog, I post about my travels, and I post about Plexus. It's just one of the parts of my life that people see. So definitely share stories anytime that you can. Anytime now when someone messages me about Plexus, the first thing I say is, girl, these products are going to change your life. I'm so excited you're interested, and let me tell you what it's done for me. I never say, Plexus is a health and wellness company that, focuses on sugar, blood sugar stabilization, cholesterol, blah, blah, blah. I don't say any of that, and I used to. But now I just share what it's done for me, and people are like, sold. But whenever you say the other stuff, people don't even know what that is. Before Plexus, I'm like, why would I need stable blood sugar levels? I don't even know what that means. What does that even do to you? Like cholesterol, I don't have cholesterol issues. I'm like 25. Like my dad has cholesterol issues. So whenever you say stuff like that, people don't know what you're talking about when you share and say, girl, like I don't take headache medicine at all. I have no Advil, no ibuprofen. My stomach issues are gone. I don't look like I'm 3 months pregnant anymore, and I'm not crawling to the Keurig anymore. You're going to love this stuff. What was more relatable, cholesterol or my life? My life. So share stories. People especially love stories about you because they are nosy. You're nosy, other people are nosy too. So they want to know about your life. They may not be commenting on your Plexus stuff, but whenever they are creeping it, they're creeping that. They're like, what's this girl doing? And they're creeping you. So if you're not sharing your story, they don't have anything. They're going to go watch someone else. And then the last part is about how to keep great customers. I love this. This is like a little refresher that I needed because sometimes you get so busy with this and that and the other and reaching out that you forget to take care of the people that you have. How many times have we signed someone and we're like, welcome. Oh my gosh, y'all, welcome Brittany. She's so excited about the products. Then we don't talk to Brittany again. Then 2 months later, we're like, oh crap. Like whatever happened to Brittany? I wonder if she liked the products. You're so excited and you do all this work to get people on the products. You need to keep them on them. So I love this, and I'm going to go back and make a little schedule. I know Marcella actually has a great graphic that she made that says when to check up on people. It says day 1, do this, day 3, do this, day 5, do this. So we're just having constant interaction with them. And y'all, this Lexi app, if you don't have it, download it now. I know it costs. So don't go eat out tonight and buy Lexi instead because she is going to help your business. Every single person now that I get on Plexus goes into Lexi. What Lexi does is she's her personal assistant. Awesome, thanks. Marcella's going to post that follow-up in July Silver Stars. So every person that goes into Lexi sends messages to check up on them. Hey, Rachel here. And they'll even say, like she's you, hey, Rachel here. Have you remembered to take your Feed and Drink today? It's amazing. It follows up with your customers and your ambassadors for you. Guys, these people need support. think about how when you first started the products, did you know what you were doing? Probably not. You're like, I'm just going to do what it says to take on the bottle. I don't know. I'm like pooping all the time. I don't really know what's going on. I don't think this stuff is working. Your customers are feeling the same exact way. They need help. They need help and they need assistance. The more you help them, the more you assist them, the longer they're going to be on the product. I promise you. People that have great customer service, people come back to them. I mean, I have places in town that I can think of right now that I hate going to them because they have horrible customer service. My optometrist is one of them. I'm there for 4 hours. I hate going to the optometrist, and I've honestly switched because I do not like going to them. The customer service was awful. Now, I went to another place yesterday. I walked in, they had water waiting on me. They went and got me cold water. My husband needed a pen and pad. They went and got that for him. They went and, do y'all want some peppermints? Do y'all want this? Yeah, I'll go back. The nail salons that give me wine and they like dote on me while I'm there, I will go back to that nail salon. The people that I go, I'm thinking about Marcella went the other day and she's like, they looked at me crazy when I asked for wine. Like, I bet she's not going to that nail salon. The experience makes the biggest difference. So the more you dote on them, the better. And I loved how she said the second they place an order, I send them a thank you card. I've started doing that, and I can't tell you how many people have texted me and said, oh my gosh, girl, thank you for that card. That was so sweet of you. It takes 4 seconds but go to the dollar bin at Target, get 8 note cards for $1, right on there. Susie, I'm so excited for you in your Plexus journey, girl. I'm here for you every step of the way. Here's my phone number. Text me with any questions. I'll be in touch. It takes a minute. Slap a 43-cent sticker on there and get that stamp to the mailbox and get it to their house. I promise you, that means so much more to them than anything that you could ever do. But they're going to keep with you because you have great customer service, customer appreciation, things like that. I love how on here she said too, y'all, she's a top earner of her company. On page 49, she says, when they're interested, I walk them, I get them on the phone, and I walk them through their first order. I firmly believe good customer service starts on day 1. True. How many people do you have that have said, I'm going to order the products, you don't get them on the phone, then all of a sudden they go to like Witness Protection Service and you can't get a hold of them anymore? That's because they got on the website and they were like, there's 97 different products. I'm so confused. I don't know what a preferred customer is. I don't know what retail is. I don't know what this Join Me Now is. It's asking me for my social. I'm freaked out and I'm overwhelmed. I'm not ever going to get it. But guess what? If you call them and you say, hey girl, are you free right now? No. Okay, are you free tonight at 6? Let me help you get your order in. Okay, sounds good. Get them on the phone. Okay, girl, I'm going to go ahead and do all this over the phone. Name. How do you spell your name? Do you have a middle initial? Last name. Okay, what's your billing address? Is your shipping address the same as your billing address? Oh, it's not? Let me get that for you because that way it's not going to be shipped to your office instead of your house and you're going to lose the package for a week. Oh, okay, let's go ahead and set up your order for next month. And guess what? When you do that, people set their order in place for next month. They don't skip that step and they're going to get their product. You just had amazing customer service with them. They had no trouble signing up at all. They had no trouble ordering. You can explain to them the support pages. It's amazing. Okay, still have not done that. Karen, I'm going to tell you, that's one of those coachable moments where you have to say, if people are doing it and it's working, I would do it. I tell people on my team that, I would say the people that say, I've had so many people that, I don't know if this has happened to you personally, Karen, either, but I tell people, there's so many people that have told me they're going to order and they never have. And I always ask them, are you getting them on the phone? Are you getting them on the phone? Their answer is always no, but they're not changing it. So at this point, I'm like, I don't know what, I tried to help you and you're not letting me. So I guess just continue to let people not order, So it's one of those moments where you have to say, okay, am I coachable right now? People are telling me to do it. I should probably do it. So, and not like singling you out. You just happen to be on the call here. But I have a lot of people that are just nervous to be on the phone. But I'm like, just get them on the phone. They appreciate it. They really do. And then just talks about referrals in there that y'all can read. So just when people tell you, maybe it's not there for me right now, they have a lot of people that they know. So just because they don't want the products right at this moment doesn't mean that they don't know someone else. So you can always get referrals and say, hey, if you refer me, every person you refer me, I'll get you, $10 off your purchase. And then eventually they're going to be like, dang, I have $30. Like, I better purchase something. Or you can do, every person that you refer me, I'll give you, I don't know what you could do. I don't know, just a little gift, whatever you want it to do. A stick of Slim. Oh, if you refer me someone, I'll give you a week's worth of Slim for free. So then they can try it for 7 days and they may purchase from you after that. Okay, so I'm going to open it up. I love these 2 chapters. They're super helpful, and customer service is a big thing that we don't focus on that we need to for sure. It's going to keep people around. Marcella, you just reminded me to order Slim. Yeah, go do that. Okay, well, thank y'all for hopping on. I'm telling you, this is one of those things where you're taking your time and you're pouring into yourself. And sometimes you're like, oh my gosh, I don't have time to do this. But you need to make time to do this because you are pouring into yourself. So kudos to y'all for doing that. And next week we will be doing, let me see what the next 2 chapters are here. Y'all, this book is such an easy read. I love it. Chapter 5, which is power prospecting, and power presenting. So it's prospecting people and then presenting to them. Those are both very, very important, because sometimes we get potentials and then we're like, okay, now what do I say to them without wanting to crawl in a hole because I'm embarrassed about what I did. So thank y'all again for hopping on. I will post this recording for anyone that you want to pass on to your team. Other than that, y'all have a great Wednesday. There is less than a week left in the month, so let's go kill it. If you're not silver yet, go work towards that silver bonus. You don't want to miss out.